Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for Northern Ag TV. We want to bring you some of the big news coming from the Commodity Classic that'll affect agriculture. Our coverage of the Commodity Classic is sponsored by Meristem Crop Performance. Learn how to get more bushels for less on your operation at meristemag.com. Well, Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins is at the Commodity Classic and had quite a few announcements for folks. Of course, one of those was the release of EQIP and CSP funding after the federal funding freeze. She also talked about the $30 billion in disaster and economic assistance. That program is going to be called the Emergency Commodity Assistance Program. And for the $10 billion in economic aid, growers will receive pre-filled applications from FSA to help expedite the delivery of payments. USDA is planning to have that finished up before March 20th. Now, Andy Schwab is there at the Commodity Classic, and he and several other reporters got to ask Secretary Rollins some pointed questions about the administration, things like tariffs and what the administration will do to help farmers who are already dealing with a struggling ag economy.
I know that President Trump, whom I speak with regularly, realizes the state of the farm economy in this country. The last time I know he pushed Secretary Perdue to ensure that we were able to make whole, or at least as obviously it was imperfect, but as best as we could, some of those, and hopefully most of those, if not all, who had been hurt. But again, everything is on the table. We're building the team at USDA to ensure that we have the structure and the plan in place to allow us to move very quickly.
Rollins was also asked about Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy and his comments that agriculture practices today are poisoning the soil and how she responds to that misunderstanding.
Secretary Kennedy and I have already begun building a strong relationship, a great, hopefully, partnership where we can work together, where we begin to move forward, and perhaps I can spend a little time making sure that he understands that some of the things maybe that he has been told or believed or has read isn't entirely accurate. I feel very, very confident. I'm very encouraged that as we work to make America healthy again, we will be able to do it in a very intentional way that not only doesn't compromise our farmers and our ranchers and our ag community, but actually helps to elevate and make more prosperous than ever before.
Rollins acknowledged the administration is making changes quickly, and some of the recent government staffing firings had to be rescinded.
This is an extremely aggressive effort that I fully support, but in being so aggressive, there will be mistakes made. And there have been mistakes made. I think in the first tranche, we let go, as part of those cuts, some of the avian flu experts. Some of the world's most renowned agriculture researchers that the Borlaug Institute and Texas A&M had recruited were also given the pink slip. But within a few days or a week, they too were brought back. So that is, I think, a really important part of this is we're moving at Trump speed, that there will be some mistakes made, and that we will fully take responsibility for it and recognize it when that happens.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll be back for the markets right after this.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Well, cattle futures started the new week under some pressure, although the losses did moderate as the session wore on. Certainly concerns about tariffs as well as the higher dollar weighing on the markets. We also got box beef that's been trending lower and cash-fed cattle trade losing a bit of ground. Packers also slowing the harvest pace, which is kind of moving the leverage around and forcing feed yards to accept less money. That was the case last week in the cash-fed cattle trade, where we were down $2 to $3. Live sales $197 to $199, dress trade $311 to $315. Now at the public auction yards in Billings, the feeder calves sold $8 to $12 higher, 5 to 5.5 weight steers $370 to $395, 6 to 6.5 weights $324 to $345, light 7 weight steers $301 to $311. Should mention the big bred cow sale coming up at Pays tomorrow, the Calving Time Classic that features the age dispersion of the Hoverson Ranch herd. And pretty steep pressure across the board in the grain markets yet again. Fears over those tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China being implemented today allowed the market to slip for the 6th straight session. About 50 cents have dropped out of the market in the last week with fund liquidation and concern about retaliatory tariffs. March hard red spring wheat closed at $5.76, winter wheat at $5.47. Well, that's going to do it for today's report. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.